Hi, I'm Nancy. As a dedicated architect, I've not only designed buildings but also constructed a stable and accomplished life for myself by the age of 32. I was living in a home of my own design, a true dream turned reality. This achievement stood in stark contrast to my younger sister Amanda's approach to life. At 27, she preferred taking the easy route, relying heavily on our parents for support. Our relationship had always been a bit strained, largely due to Amanda's tendency to stir up drama whenever she felt overshadowed. Despite this, I tried to maintain peace and offer support, even though it often felt one-sided. "Nancy, you're always so put together. Must be nice not having any real problems," Amanda would tease, her voice dripping with a mix of envy and sarcasm. "I've had my fair share, Amanda. Just because I don't broadcast them doesn't mean they don't exist," I'd reply, trying to keep the peace. When Amanda announced her engagement to Daniel, a guy she'd been dating for just a few months, I was hopeful yet cautious. This could be her chance to finally mature and take responsibility for her own life. "He's amazing, Nancy. You'll see, he's different from the rest," Amanda gushed one evening as we sat in my living room, her eyes sparkling with excitement. "That's great, Amanda. I really hope it works out," I replied, masking my reservations with a smile. "How did you two meet?" "At that yoga retreat I went to last spring. It was like an instant connection," she explained, fluttering her hands dramatically. Our parents were thrilled, immediately throwing themselves into wedding planning. They had a soft spot for Amanda and often indulged her more whimsical desires. I couldn't help but feel a bit sidelined, as usual, the responsible, reliable one. "Nancy, dear, we were thinking the wedding could be in your backyard. It's just perfect," my mom proposed one afternoon, her tone hopeful. I hesitated, my heart sinking a bit. "We can talk about it, sure. Let's see what Amanda thinks." As much as I wanted to be supportive, I was also protective of my space, my sanctuary. Little did I know, this was just the beginning of what would become one of the most outrageous demands Amanda would ever make on me. During a family dinner, the air was light with excitement over Amanda's upcoming wedding until the moment she dropped a bombshell on me. "Since we're all here, I have something important to ask. Nancy, you know how much I love your house, right? It's just perfect for Daniel and me to start our married life." I choked on my water, coughing a little as I processed her words. "You're joking, right?" "Not at all. It's way too big for just you, and what better gift than helping your little sister out?" Our parents exchanged uneasy glances, clearly torn. "Nancy, maybe it's something to think about. It could really help Amanda and Daniel," Mom suggested gently, trying to smooth things over. "Dad, what do you think?" I was desperate for some support, looking toward him with pleading eyes. "Well, it is an unusual request, but it's also an opportunity for us to keep the family close," Dad added, his voice neutral. I couldn't believe what I was hearing. "You want me to give up my home, the home I built from scratch, as a wedding gift?" Amanda's eyes widened, feigning surprise. "It's not like I'm asking for a handout. Think of it as passing it on to family. Isn't that what families do, help each other?" "Helping is one thing. This is something else entirely," I retorted, feeling the tension rise. "It's just a house, Nancy. You can always build another," Amanda chimed in, her tone dismissive. "Just a house, Amanda? You know how hard I've worked for it. It's not about the bricks and mortar. It's about what it represents." Mom tried to mediate. "Maybe there's a way to make everyone happy. Nancy, could you at least think it over for the family?" As the meal progressed, the atmosphere soured. Each comment from Amanda felt like another jab, another reminder that my hard work was being undervalued. "You're being really selfish, Nancy. I thought you'd be happy to support me on my big day." "Supporting your wedding and giving away my home are two very different things, Amanda," I replied, feeling the frustration building. Dad sighed, pinching the bridge of his nose. "Let's not turn this dinner into an argument, Nancy. Take some time to think it over, all right?" I nodded, more out of a desire to end the conversation than any real agreement. As the dinner wrapped up, the weight of the conversation hung over me like a dark cloud. I needed a plan, a way to show them the absurdity of Amanda's request without tearing the family apart. That night, As I lay in bed, the walls of my home felt more precious than ever. The idea of handing over my sanctuary was unimaginable, yet the pressure from my family was real and pressing. I knew something had to be done, and simply refusing wasn't going to be enough. They needed to see Amanda's true colors, and I had just the idea to make that happen. After tossing and turning all night, I decided to call Daniel. Surprisingly, he was just as frustrated as I was with Amanda's demands. "Listen, Daniel, I think we need to show her what it really means to own a home. It's not all dinner parties and decorating." "Exactly, Nancy. She doesn't understand half of what goes into it. What do you have in mind? How about a trial period? Amanda moves in thinking she'll inherit the house, but we set up real-life challenges. Let her handle everything I do daily, from bills to unexpected repairs." Daniel paused, then chuckled. "You're serious? Like a reality check?" "Yes, but it has to look supportive, not like a setup. Can you handle being on the inside?" "You bet. I'll make sure she doesn't suspect a thing." The next day, I invited Amanda over, putting on my best big sister face. "So, I've been thinking about your proposal, and maybe there's a way to work this out. How about a trial period? You and Daniel move in and handle everything. If after 3 months it feels right, we can talk about transferring the house." Amanda's eyes lit up. "Really? You'd do that?" "Of course," I replied. "But it's not just about living here. It's about managing everything, bills, maintenance, the whole deal." "Sounds easy enough, right, babe?" Amanda turned to Daniel. Daniel nodded enthusiastically. "Great. Let's start this weekend. I'll help you settle in." As they moved in, I laid out the homeowner's handbook I had created, complete with budget sheets and a schedule of maintenance tasks. The first challenge was simple: a clogged sink. "Just call a plumber, right?" Amanda asked, scrolling through her phone. "Nope. You're going to fix it." "That's what homeowners do," I insisted, handing her a plunger and a wrench. Daniel reported to me daily. She's already complaining, missed her nail appointment because she had to wait for the HVAC guy. The hidden cameras I'd installed for security, which I had informed them about, captured every tantrum and mishap. Amanda struggling to reset a tripped breaker, her meltdown over the lawnmower not starting, and her fury when the weekly budget fell short. Each day brought new challenges. I made sure the problems were just tough enough to push her, but still believable as regular homeownership woes. "Why is everything breaking?" Amanda exclaimed one evening as another appliance failed. "That's home life, Amanda. Things happen," I replied, hiding my smirk. As the weeks passed, Amanda's facade began to crack. Complaints piled up, and her true nature surfaced more with each passing day. Daniel kept me updated, but he was growing weary too. "This was a good idea, Nancy, but I'm not sure how much more I can take. She's not the person I thought she was." "Just a bit longer, Daniel. I think everyone needs to see this, especially our parents." The final week approached, and I planned a grand finale, a mock house assessment to test all that Amanda had learned. The family was invited to see the results, setting the stage for what I hoped would be a revealing conclusion to this little experiment. As the family gathered, curious to see how Amanda had managed, the backyard was set up like a small festival. Everyone was in a jovial mood, unaware of the brewing storm. "So, Amanda, ready to show us how you've handled the house?" I asked, handing her a checklist of the day's tasks. "This is ridiculous, Nancy. Why do I need to prove anything?" Amanda snapped, her patience thinning. "It's all part of the trial. Everyone's here to support you." As Amanda attempted the first task, fixing a leaky faucet, the problems began. The faucet had been rigged to be a bit more troublesome than usual, a final test of her problem-solving skills. "Why won't this thing just work?" Amanda's voice rose in frustration, echoing through the backyard as our relatives watched. "You have to tighten it more, maybe," Daniel suggested, trying to guide her without stepping in. "I am tightening it, Daniel. Nothing's happening." Moving on, Amanda was to balance the monthly budget. I had slightly altered the numbers so they wouldn't quite add up, testing her attention to detail and patience. "This doesn't make any sense. These numbers are off," Amanda exclaimed, throwing down the pen. "It should all be there, Amanda. Maybe take another look, I urged, keeping my tone neutral. I've looked 3 times, Nancy. Are you sure you didn't mess this up just to make me look bad? The final straw came with the lawn maintenance. Overnight, I'd had extra fast-growing grass seed spread, which made the yard look like it hadn't been mowed in weeks. Now for the lawn, Amanda. It seems to have grown quite a bit, huh? I remarked casually. This is impossible. It wasn't this high yesterday. Did you do this, Nancy? Amanda's face was a mix of anger and desperation. No. Why would I do that? Grass grows, you know. That's part of having a home. I can't do this anymore. You set this all up to fail. You never wanted to give me the house. Her outburst caught everyone's attention. Mom and Dad looked on, bewildered by the scene unfolding. Amanda, calm down. Let's talk about this. Mom tried to intervene. No, Mom. You need to see how Nancy has been torturing me with these impossible tasks. She's been setting me up to fail this whole time. Amanda cried out. The family gathering, meant to be a celebration, turned into a spectacle of Amanda's meltdown. As difficult as it was, this was the moment of truth, revealing not just the condition of the house, but the true dynamics at play. After Amanda's public breakdown, the atmosphere was thick with tension and disbelief. She stormed off into the house, tears streaming down her face. Mom and Dad approached me, their expressions heavy with regret. We're so sorry, Nancy. We never realized how much pressure we put on you, or how unreasonable Amanda's demands were, Mom said softly. It's not just about the house, Mom. It's about respecting each other's lives and efforts. I hope Amanda sees that now, I replied. Dad nodded, his usual jovial demeanor subdued. We've been too lenient with her, always making excuses. It's time we all took responsibility for our actions, especially Amanda. I turned towards Daniel, who looked like he was carrying the weight of the world on his shoulders. Despite everything, I felt a twinge of sympathy for him. I'm calling off the wedding, Nancy. I can't marry into this dynamic. It's not healthy for anyone, Daniel said, his voice laced with resignation. You have to do what's best for you, Daniel. I'm sorry it had to end this way, I responded. He managed a weak smile. Thanks for opening my eyes, Nancy. I hope Amanda learns from this. I really do. As the guests left, their murmurs of the day's drama echoing in the air, I took a moment to savor the quiet of my home. For the first time in weeks, I felt a sense of peace. The next morning, Amanda joined me in the kitchen, her eyes puffy from crying, her voice shaky. I'm sorry, Nancy. I didn't realize how out of line I was until I saw everyone's reactions yesterday. It's a start, Amanda, but apologies are just the beginning. You need to make some real changes. I know. I'm going to start therapy and find a place for Daniel and me. Well, just me now, she admitted, her voice tinged with regret. That sounds like a good plan. Remember, Amanda, respect isn't given, it's earned. And that starts with respecting yourself enough to take responsibility for your life. Amanda nodded, a glimmer of understanding in her eyes. I'll try, Nancy. Really, I will. As the house slowly returned to its usual serene state, Mom and Dad began to see our family dynamics in a new light. They started setting boundaries with Amanda, who moved into a small apartment, began therapy, and took a more active role in managing her finances and life. It was a long road ahead, but there was hope that she could turn her life around. Meanwhile, I reclaimed my space and peace, focusing on my career and personal growth. The entire ordeal taught me the importance of boundaries and the strength it takes to maintain them. In the end, the house remained my sanctuary, a symbol of my hard work and dedication. And as for Amanda, with a bit of luck and a lot of work, maybe she would find her own way, building something truly her own, rooted in reality and respect, not entitlement. The story of Nancy and Amanda has come to an end, but the conversation doesn't have to. What do you think about Nancy's decision to put Amanda through the home ownership test? Was it a fair strategy to expose Amanda's entitlement, or do you think there were better ways to handle the situation?